Happy Friday. Hope all you had a good day. Um, so you already know. For me, I cannot wait until March 6th, which is this Monday. I can't wait because one of my favorites, is reprising her role slash debuting on GH on Monday. Um, Hillary B. Smith, aka Nora Hannon Gannon Buchanan, Buchanan. If you're thinking Colson, that marriage does not count. It was annulled. I can't wait for her to come on Monday. I think that's gonna be fun. But anyway, usually I would save Carly, Sonny for last, but I've been dying to talk about them, so I think I'm gonna do it first. Because that whole scene was funny as shit. To me, it was funny. It was supposed to be dramatic, but I felt like this entire storyline, and I knew the end game to this storyline would be anticlimactic. I knew it would be because even a couple months ago, not only myself but a lot of people on Twitter and everything else, they on Soap Central, they were all putting the pieces together as to who Nell is, where she comes from, like from the time we saw the letter from her father, the rattle that she had. Once we saw all of that, a lot of people were putting the pieces together. I figured this shit out like a month ago, who she possibly would be. Some people were saying she's Carly's long lost daughter. I didn't believe that. And I'm gonna tell you why I didn't believe it. Because Carly herself was put up for adoption by Bobby, and that's the reason she came to town to get revenge. So I didn't believe that Carly had a child out there that she never mentioned to Sonny. She never even mentioned it to Jason. I didn't believe that because I felt like if she had a kid and she had to put the kid up for adoption because she couldn't take care of the kid, I'm pretty sure once she married into the Quartermain family or once she married Sonny, she would have the money and the resources to go find that child that she put up for adoption. She would have never not mentioned the child. She would have never just had more kids and kept the kids that she had all this money now and these resources and not look for her eldest child. I didn't believe that unless it was a major rewrite, and it wouldn't have made sense anyway because of the way that she was brought up and she was adopted. So she would want to know where her kid is, and she would move heaven and earth to find it. So I didn't believe that Nell was her long lost kid. I never believed that crap. I felt like it was crap. It was good in theory, but maybe on paper it might look good, but actually pulling that on the screen, that would have looked horrible, and it would have been stupid. Um, but Nell being related to Carly in an adopting way, even though she's not really kind of related to her. I mean, they have the same adoptive father or whatever, but not the same adoptive mother. Um, you know, she's Frank Benson's biological daughter, and Frank Benson, of course, is Carly's adoptive father, stepfather, or whatever. Um, it's all like retarded, but anyway. So apparently she's Frank Benson's daughter, and her father basically been lying to her for years, lying to her about Carly for years, and she claimed that Carly reached out to Frank Benson when Jocelyn was going through the cancer thing and asked for a bone marrow. First of all, that doesn't even make sense because Frank Benson is not a blood relative of Carly. Why would you want non-blood relatives? Why would you reach out to a non-blood relative? They're not the same blood type. They're not so why would she reach out to the Bensons to help her daughter when she knows that they're not the same blood type and they couldn't help her daughter? They're not even biologically related, so the chances of them being a donor would be slim to none. But Carly hasn't spoken to Frank Benson in probably 20 years. I believe the last time she even probably spoke to Frank Benson was around the time she was married to AJ, which was in 1999. He probably heard that, she married into the wealthy Quartermain family, which was around 1999. And she had access to money. So that's when he called her. Or it could have been that time, or it could have been the first time she married Sonny, which would have been 2000. That's the only time she really started getting into money, was when she married into the Quartermain family and then Sonny. So around that time frame is probably when he called her looking for money, and she basically told him to go to hell. So that's the last time she even talked to Frank Benson. So that was around 99, 2000 maybe. maybe 2001. It was some, they didn't give the exact year, but I'm pretty sure it was years ago. Um, so she hasn't reached out to Frank in a long time. Well, she never reached out to him. He reached out to her. She doesn't give a damn about Frank Benson. She's made that clear not only in this episode, but years ago too. She made that clear. She doesn't give a shit about him. He abandoned the family, the Benson family, when she was 3 years old. So she doesn't give a flying fuck about him. And I agree with Carly. Nell should have really did her research. Like she really should have looked into this because even Michael was telling her that Carly thought Jake Spencer was the one who gave Jocelyn a kidney. She never knew about Nell. Um, which brings me to question Jax. Hmm. She claims that Carly reached out to Frank, but I'm starting to kind of think that maybe it was Jax. They might use that as a storyline that Jax was the one who used Carly's name to reach out to Frank Benson. They might go that route. I'm not sure if they will, but it's just a theory. They could. Either way, Frank Benson is a lying son of a bitch. Um, Either way. But I did love that scene though between her and Carly Nell, and Carly slapped the shit out of Nell. And the whole time when I watched that scene and I seen Carly slap her and that look on Carly's face after she slapped her, she looked at Nell like, bitch, I dare you to raise a hand to me. She looked at her like, bitch, I dare you to swing on me. And I was looking at Nell, I'm like, no, swing on her. Go ahead. Because I want to see Carly beat the shit out of her anyway. Because I'm not a fan of Nell. I'm barely a fan of Carly on most days. Some days, Carly, I like her. Some days, I don't. Today was one of those days I actually tolerated Carly. Um, because I like Carly when she's in this mode. Like when she's pissed off, she's mad, and she's gunning for you. That's when she's at her best. That's when I love her. Because she can be a bitch. Like, seriously. And I will give this little piece of advice to Carly. Vengeance is a dish best served cold. I will give that piece of advice. And I hope that she delivers it ice cold. I hope so. Not only a nail, but you already know she gonna come for Sonny in some way too. But with these writers, I won't hold my breath. I mean, Sonny basically made it a point to tell Nell, not only did you make an enemy in Carly, but you got an enemy in me. And I wanna see what Sonny's gonna do. I wanna see what they're gonna do about Nell. Um, but I think at this point though, Carly, I don't know what the writers plan on doing with her and Sonny as far as this marriage thing go. But from the look on her face, I think Carly might be ready to sign them papers, if you know what I mean. But then thinking about it, I'm like, what lawyer could she use? Diane obviously is a no go because Diane is Sonny's attorney. Alexis, no. Not only is her license suspended, but it's a conflict of interest because she is Sonny's other baby mama. Um, Rick is a hell no. Number one, because Carly hates his guts, and two, he's a conflict of interest because he's Sonny's brother. So the only person I could think of is either, well, shit, Scott Baldwin. It's the only one I could think of. Carly don't like Scott Baldwin, but shit, she had tolerated smug ass. Um, so anyway, that scene was fun. I enjoyed it. Olivia Jerome, she was the hot topic of today's episode, basically. Everybody pretty much was talking about this bitch. She's a fucking nutcase. But before I get on her, let me just talk about Jason and Sam. That was a nice scene between them. I didn't agree with shit Jason said on yesterday's episode about everything Sam did for him because I'm like, are you forgetting that Robin actually did everything for you? What people don't know, and this is for you new viewers out there that don't know this, but when Jason and Robin were dating back in the day, Robin was the one. She was the first woman to get Jason to open up. She was the first woman to get him to get into his inner feelings. Sam wasn't that bitch. It was Robin. Robin was the one when they were dating to make him like take stock in himself, to make him open up more as far as like a relationship is concerned. It was Robin that did all of that. Not Sam, it was Robin. She got him to be, a bit more, less macho and, kind of get into his inner, his inner feelings. She kind of did that. Teach him how to love, basically, is what she did. And not only that, I mean, shit, Robin spent years being kidnapped by the Cassadines just to bring his ass back to life. I mean, come on, can't she get some credit for all of this shit? I mean, you're giving Sam all this credit, but what about Robin? Like you're forgetting that major key, and I feel like the writers are not tapping into that history, and that goes to show the lack of knowledge they have for this show. Because if they knew this, then they would know Robin did all of this shit for Jason. It was Robin, not Sam. I'm just saying. Be real. But it was good, that Sam woke up because I'm glad that the writers didn't drag on this coma shit. I was kind of fearful that they would, but I'm glad it only lasted a day. And she's awake, and now they could be with their baby girl. I hope like hell they do not name that little girl Scout. Please don't do that. I hate that name. Not, I just don't like the name being a regular for a kid on this show or anybody. Scout, I no. Scout Morgan doesn't really have a ring to it. I just hope they go a different route with that. Um, so anyway, moving on. Olivia. So Olivia got Julian in the trunk. This is why I call Julian a cartoon mob boss. Olivia is a puny woman. She's a beefy woman, but I mean, come on, she ain't no man. She ain't got the strength of a man, and yet Julian can't overpower her ass. Like he could have easily overpowered her on a number of occasions, and you let her get you into her trunk and keep you there. Like really? Um. So then she bumped into Griffin, and he looked familiar to her, and that's when he revealed that Duke was his father. So she downplayed her relationship to Duke, saying that she never met him and she only knew of his name, which is a lie, of course. And she was pissed at Julian for not telling her that Duke had a son. I'm like, you've been alive. You never died. So how? I'm pretty sure she kept track of Duke. You mean to tell me you never knew? You didn't know anything? Well, him having a son, I could see her not knowing that because Duke didn't even know that. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure she stalked Duke even from the shadows. Like for real. Even when he was alive, I'm sure she stalked him. She is a stalker, certified stalker. I'm just saying. But Olivia is just batshit crazy. But I think I can kind of see where the writers are going with this because she said that she bought the hospital because of what lies beneath the hospital, and the light bulb came off. Remember, I think we all know what lies beneath that hospital, and that's that cryogenic lab that Helena Cassadine had in the basement of the hospital, um, where she kept Stavros frozen for years and revived him. So my guess would be that's where Olivia has Duke. I mean, we all know Duke was cremated, but what if that wasn't really Duke who was cremated? And remember, Anna spreaded his ashes in Ireland. What if that wasn't really Duke? You never know. Um, I love the scenes with Robin and Anna. Their scenes were fun. That was a really fun scene. I hope nothing happens to Robin now that she bumped into crazy ass Olivia. I hope that they don't do something to harm her or the baby. Um, but of course, Jordan had to talk to Anna about Olivia and get some information on it. Ava was shocked when she heard that Olivia was alive. She was shocked because she never met Olivia. She just heard stories about her from Julian, saying that she's batshit crazy, she's certifiable, she's a fucking Looney Tune, which she is. I mean, that bitch is cuckoo, cuckoo. Like, seriously, that bitch is about a can short of a six pack. Seriously, that bitch is nuts. I would hate to be caught in the alley with her at night. I'm just saying, you never know what she might do. Um, but anyway, it was a good episode. Wasn't too bad. I can't wait for Monday. Like I said, I'm just beaming with joy. Um, so anyway, see all you Monday. Have a great weekend.